Welcome to the In-Season Podcast, rated R for language.
None of us are doctors or neurologists. The things you're about to hear are opinions of people living with epilepsy or seizures. These are firsthand experiences. Epilepsy can cause speech problems, and the medications are hard to pronounce. So please bear with me.
Epilepsy can cause bad memory, so some stories will be repeated. I'm Pookie. Get ready.
The EEG glue took the dye out of my hair. This is kind of funny, but also I'm upset about it. I dyed my hair a week before my EMU stay because I wanted to be able to be myself more and also just protest of my increasing seizures. It was so cool and vibrant, not at all fading the day of admission. I got discharged yesterday and came home and took a shower and got most of the glue off. The glue was bright blue, and my hair was now severely faded. Has this ever happened to anyone?
Yeah. Then that's what you learn the lesson of: don't go to the salon until after, because that's when it
Never
feels
dyed
like
my hair,
a
but
horrible waste of money.
I never would have thought about that. I've never dyed my hair, but I never would have thought about that being, something that happens, but it makes sense.
Yeah. Anybody who dyes their hair regularly knows to think about what events or things are coming up that might mess it up.
Anybody take
There's no point.
Anybody take clonazepam? Okay.
Clobazam or
Clonazepam.
sorry,
That's
they're all
me.
so.
Clonazepam is a generic Klonopin.
Yeah.
It's a benzo.
And
About clobazam. They're all cloves.
They're all
Clobazam.
so
Clobazam.
similar.
Yeah, they're confusing.
Well, clonazepam is there's the big name and then there's like the little name. So like on my thingy, it'll say clonazepam is just like the whatever, and then common brands it'll just say Klonopin.
yeah.
Okay. So it's a question for everyone. My nonverbal autistic son has been having seizures since he was 15. Initially stated as absent seizures, and now has escalated to tonic-clonic seizures. He was started on Keppra 500 milligrams 2 times a day. 2 times a day, and lacosamide 50 milligrams 3 times a day. His episodes increased, and his doctor changed. New doctor suggested to up the meds now. Now he's taking 1,000 milligrams of Keppra and 200 milligrams of lacosamide 2 times a day. Now he's having cluster seizures as we prescribed. We were prescribed clonazepam for the clusters. We are only able to administer this after 3 or more in the course of a day. I asked his neurologist if we look at doing the clonazepam as a regular dose and eliminate the Keppra and the lacosamide. His response, no. I'm curious if anyone else takes clonazepam regularly. Lufa, is that a regular thing?
Oh.
Anybody?
For me, I take it nightly. I
You
was
take it nightly?
prescribed to take it every night. It happened after my first cluster.
Take it every morning and every night.
I take clobazam every night, 20 milligrams. Seems to work.
Is everybody's neurologist more likely to stack up the AEDs before the benzos? I think at the most they wanted me to take 3 different AEDs and 2 benzos. I don't remember if I compa.
I'm on, well, basically, because I'm considered the benzo part of the AED solution. I'm on 4 altogether right now. Yeah, they were just stacking them up, and I was like, that's not working.
I guess.
I think that's why they had to go to when I went into the cluster, they went into the benzos as the rescue.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, so they're trying not to put you on the benzo regularly.
Yeah.
They're just saying take it as a rescue.
The first comment says your body builds a tolerance to benzodiazepines. You would have to increase his dose continually over time. Also, they are addictive. Is there controlled substance?
Always.
That's how they're addicted. It says, like others have said, benzos work, but also come with severe and dangerous side effects when used long term. Benzos and alcohol are two of the only drugs that can kill you just from the withdrawal. So in the future, if he were to need come off them after taking them for a long time, he would have to very slowly titrate down and would probably hate it. They're also very sedative, especially at higher doses. I'll take a small dose as an emergency med, but only use as needed. I've told my neurologist I'll take the benzos. I'll never take the benzos as a regular medication.
Yeah, it took me a year and a half to taper off of 1 milligram clonazepam daily. So they are highly addictive. Not only dependence, but addiction, like actual addiction, like craving and the withdrawals, the severe withdrawals, like they said.
Someone said, I'm prescribed 200 milligrams of Lamictal, 2 milligrams of Klonopin a day. Adding the Klonopin is what got my seizures under control. I've been on several medications over the past 40 years. The only time I've been seizure free is while on Klonopin. Congratulations to you.
You guys got to hear this beautiful story. I'd been in an abusive relationship on every level. He'd used my postictal phase for his pleasure, and I'd learn about it later. The night I left, he grabbed my meds out of my hands and scattered them across our lawn. I was single for 4 years, thinking I'd never find someone who could handle it. I found my now fiance, who has been seizure-free for 15 years. I don't know how I got so lucky. That does sound like a miracle.
That sounds really messed up. Beginning.
The beginning, of course, but the end, knowing that you're with somebody who can definitely handle it. Because I always get so confused when people say that they just want to be open, tell everybody, or tell anybody that they're dating or who they meet right away. I would never do that. That's a little too much about yourself, especially when we're all under the, operating under this idea that you don't let it define you. It's not, all about who you are. So that's just never really, it would take away, it would distract somebody when you first meet them. If you say I have this disability, if the whole conversation in the evening is not him learning about your disability, then he's probably just going to be thinking something about it in the back of his head. So I think it's too much of a distractor if you throw it out there too quick. Is it different for the guys?
I told my girlfriend within like the first 5 messages, just because I was sick of people finding out too late and then being like, I already had sort of developed we had sort of a rapport and stuff, and then it was like, oh yeah, I'm not getting into this. So I just started not letting it define me, but being like, hey, this is a thing that I have, and if that's a problem for you, not for me.
So for me, no, it's really been hard. Yeah, the pros outweigh the cons. Got epilepsy, but I'm a pro, so
Yeah. I never I don't even think I told my ex-wife and this is in our first month of dating.
Even though you didn't drive?
I didn't drive, but I told her, like, I never told her I had seizures or something, and she just had experienced it when she was going to go pick up her son. And
that's how
she
she
just
found out
stood
about it.
back, and I thought, that, that was different. But for me, it's like I I don't want my life to be about my epilepsy basically holding everything back, because it's like I can accomplish a lot without it.
Yeah, that's a better way to look at it.
Yeah.
Pookie got his hand up.
What was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. Usually throw that out there first. It usually helps for the most part. Yeah, you put that out there first, and they usually have that, and then like, oh, this is one of my red flags. I have epilepsy and I got kids. Can we get past that? All right, then we'll see you later. I always put that out there, and it hasn't been a problem yet. Yet. And it doesn't. So,
Anybody think dating is more of a status issue than anything else?
come again?
The status part of dating.
Yeah, for some people. Some people
Yes.
don't feel like it's, like you're in a good place if you're not with someone, I guess.
So that being so, if someone is having a disability would make you in a lesser status. And I don't think people necessarily how do I say this? I think it's
Want to put
different.
up with it?
No, I think people are fine with dating people with a disability, but I think it's difficult. I think it's
Like for the
difficult.
public to look at it, accepting?
No. No, I don't think people have a problem with disabilities, but okay.
Sometimes
All
I
right, for a person like me who is almost older, has no job, no money, is disabled, what would you think about dating me? Anyone? How would a woman think about dating me? Lives
Hot
with his
shit, bro.
parents?
they would off the bat probably, they have an unclear seeing of your situation. They would genuinely probably think you're a bum, because
Yeah, hot shit, bro.
that's how women will be.
There you go.
I don't
I
like
think
school
that's
because
a story right
the
there.
guy kept trying to force me to fucking drive, and I was like, do you not understand the concept of do you not get it? Like, you're trying to make me feel stupid, but you look fucking stupid. So I get what you're saying. People are gonna think that you're just a bum. And they just don't truly have the entire concept of, or really grasp the severity of what it actually is that you deal with on a daily basis.
So that's what I mean by status.
Okay. But
I
you
enjoy
do
being
ever
single.
think that you're not a resume?
Yeah, it was funny how bad it was.
Yeah.
I had to watch it a few times, and I was like, and then the end, just, all right, bye guys, and I was like, oh, okay, bye, I guess. But I guess like I feel like, if you truly believe that's what a seizure looks like, then you've got some digging to do in your brain. rethink, you know.
Can birds have seizures?
Maybe I'm watching too much cinema. Maybe I should look up what a real seizure looks like, because that definitely doesn't look anything like a seizure. And I've seen, you know, the seizure on here. And you know, that person that was really forced. And even if it wasn't, then I feel
There's not really a lot of photos or videos online when I looked up epilepsy, when I looked up seizures. The lady at the store, she lives downstairs. So I was telling her, you know, the ambulance yesterday, they came because I had a seizure. And she was like, "What's a seizure?" So I'm looking for like 30 minutes looking for a video. It is so hard to find a video of a seizure. And I was like, this is ridiculous. The videos are like you can't see the person, or yeah, there's not much on seizures, period. So yeah,
No, anybody who actually has footage isn't looking to post it.
I'm looking to post it. What's going on? I already posted it.
Would be like too graphic for YouTube or whatever that people would call it, too graphic. But then the next post you see is woman half naked and something, and I'm like, whoa, slow down. Slow
I'm gonna
down.
post mine at the
You
end of
get
this
that from
video.
my algorithm. I'm literally looking at internet hoaxes and conspiracy theories.
And then your next suggestion is some like full frontal.
Even my mom
Yeah, they do.
describing
No, I will
my
never
seizure to me is like, oh God, I don't want to hear no more.
Someone here says it shouldn't be portrayed by actors at all. It's almost never serves any purpose, and it's almost always really ignorant and tasteless. Medical shows are absolute worst. My objection isn't that it should be, in quotes, off the table if you don't have epilepsy or anything like that. It's just that it's always so bad, always reinforces bad stereotypes and that sort of thing. It's not that the actors or writers' intentions are bad, but it's always a disaster. Part of the problem is that it's not something that people usually see in everyday life. And when they do see it, in reality, they're too freaked out to remember or experience it accurately. As a result, it's not intelligible in drama. There are no tropes, passions, or common experiences the actors and audience can rely on to make it intelligible. The only good portrayal of a seizure or epilepsy that I've seen is the original Andromeda Strain, which I strongly recommend. Andromeda Strain is a movie, I'm assuming.
I think that was a TV series.
A movie in the 70s.
Movie in the 70s. Andromeda Strain. 1969 novel.
Yeah.
Oh.
The novel was wrote in 69 and the movie was in 71. Ooh.
Another thing somebody else said about that video on EU was that it was like just so offensive because the girl looked like an addict to begin with. So somebody commented saying she looks like a faker or an addict to begin with, just trying to figure out how to act out a seizure to get more attention.
Well, I mean, this is all about context, right? If it's fiction and we know what's going on and it's well written and well acted, then people should know what's going on. Then people should, I mean, people should be able to tell then, right? I mean,
There's a comment here that says, I tentatively think TC seizures shouldn't be portrayed directly on camera because nobody can safely stiffen and shake every muscle group like that. The human body is not well suited to moving like that. Maybe CGI could do it convincingly, but it's also just a bit unnecessary. If we film a character sick, we don't generally look into the toilet to see the vomit. What are your motivations for showing the actual seizure instead of just looking at the effects?
CGI is even worse.
Really?
That's even more insulting. God. That's like literally
No.
calling us cartoons.
Yeah. So, yeah, I agree with Kevin.
I don't know why I find that funny. I think I found it funny that you said something. I was waiting for somebody to respond. Yeah, it was hilarious. Someone says,
Now these got me just picturing the cartoon in my head. That just got me laughing over here.
I was picturing someone in Family Guy or something. But
Yeah.
Are you kidding me? That maybe they've done an episode like that. Family Guy popped into my head too. I think they've done that before.
Yeah, they have. I mean, I watch a lot of cartoons, and I've seen cartoon seizures, and
I can imagine them saying giggity giggity and having a seizure. That would be the most
The
hilarious
dog,
thing.
Brian. Yeah.
But anyway,
I know that's right, Brian. Yeah.
you got something that says insurance. I've been on lamotrigine for a while now and it works. However, I've recently been getting some focal aware seizures. My epileptologist decided to prescribe me Briviac as an add-on because I am on the highest dose of lamotrigine. My insurance denied coverage of the Briviac because my doctor needs to provide documentation that I tried Keppra and didn't work and why. I haven't tried it, but it wasn't my doctor's recommendation, so I don't know. I don't want to be forced into it. Has anyone ever experienced this? Been forced into taking a med, I'm assuming, is what the question was. Yeah, basically that's what it was. They tell them you got to take Keppra first.
Yeah, I don't think you
Yeah,
could be
doctors can
forced
be
into
pushy.
doing anything you don't want to be doing or starting.
The one comment says you can talk to your doctor about getting them to instead provide documentation. That's why you're not a good candidate for Keppra and rather require a different prescription. I will say I'm a loving Keppra. The negative reviews are discontent, people yelling into the void because they need it. The ones doing well on Keppra don't make posts about it because they're just living their lives. I'm not saying take Keppra instead. I'm saying if you have a fear of it, don't base it on internet venting. I did that and almost refused an incredible prescription. ETA, did I get a down vote from someone who had a poor experience with Keppra? I'm not caring about the down vote, but I were to stress that Keppra is not for everyone. The people who have poor experiences are compelled to talk about it because it's an awful experience. The ones who haven't had a reason to talk about it, we hear more from discontent people because they have something to say, which is valid. If you didn't like Keppra, great. You shouldn't take it. I never told the OP to take Keppra, and the first and foremost, I have OP advice. Help them get their prescription and their neurologist wins. I don't exactly get that, but yeah. Neurologist always wins. Interesting. Is epilepsy a disability? I never thought about it because I was never treated even as a patient who has epilepsy. But recently I started to see it. I researched to myself and the question of whether it could be a neurological disability stuck in my mind. Also, is it a win, not a win? Because I don't know, but people says that it's bad, can't find a job or something. And I never tried it or experienced it, and I'm just curious about it. Thoughts? Is epilepsy a disability, you guys? This person
Oh,
seriously
yeah.
wants to know.
It does inhibit your daily life. It is a disability.
About getting on disability or
It says, is epilepsy a disability? That's all. And
certainly.
Very much.
If it's
Yeah, like
something that affects your daily life in a way that if it is a health risk, it's a disability.
I
So-
think it is. My neurologist doesn't, so that's why I argue with my neurologist about it.
though also another question was, is it a win or not a win? It's not a win. I hate everything about it. Win, not a win. Why? Brandon?
Only win was getting to meet all you folks.
Rick? Was it a win for you?
No.
Like, yeah, I got epilepsy. Like win the Super Bowl.
Woo. This is better than some other things I could have had, but no, it's not a win. I guess it's a win that I was diagnosed, but not a win that I have it.
Yeah. Epilepsy is never a win.
Someone said, for me, it's a physical disability. I cannot drive. I regularly have plans interrupted by my epilepsy. I have other disabilities as well, and my epilepsy feeds off of them. Oh, that absolutely sucks. Someone said, yes, it is. In the US, if you are unable to work, like uncontrolled seizures that can be caused from it, like injuries, etc., might be a disability, but you can't give disability. Someone said, well, I can't be a pilot or a police officer, but otherwise my mental capacity is perfectly fine. So it's more of a life disadvantage. No tax breaks for it in Canada, as far as I know.
We can't get drafted.
Freaking Canadians. Someone said here in the UK, it's classified as a disability, but it's really your decision as to whether or not you want to carry that label. I like that one. The last one says, my epilepsy is a disability. I've had 15 grand mal seizures this year. The one that led to my diagnosis was I had 6 in a 36-hour time frame. At one point, the EMS were afraid I wouldn't come out of it. I filed for disability because the symptoms are impairing my ability to do things like work. I explain my mind lapses as if I were telling a long joke. At some point, the mind goes blank and seems like the punchline of the joke. My heart goes out to anyone diagnosed or is having seizures because it is a very serious issue. I feel like each seizure changes my personality and who I am just a little bit every time. Thanks to whomever built this community. Yeah, we're not this. I use the word condition sometimes because the Center for Disease Control, they named it as a disease. I use the word disorder sometimes or condition. Doesn't sound as bad.
Better than syndrome. Sometimes some of the whatever it's called, those epilepsy conditions, they put that syndrome label in there, and I always think that makes it sound worse. More unknown.
My first seizure. Go ahead.
When I'm not feeling good and there's kids around and they ask me if I'm okay, I just go, yeah, I just got some brain stuff.
Yeah, we were just talking about a seizure, a teacher who had epilepsy. And I was like, Brandon's just left. Missed him. But yeah,
but it was a class in the UK, and all his students, he spoke about how, one right before he went down said, I need help. One student ran to the front desk. One student looked up and started recording a seizure and saw on the looked up on like the NSH website or something what to do, like, the right kind of first aid on a seizure, and somebody else got his lab coat and like covered him up with it. So yeah, that post was about a teacher who was just really proud of his class.
I'd be insanely proud. Yeah, that's awesome. And clearly, there's more knowledge about what to do in that scenario. I don't know if it might have just been his class in particular, if that was mentioned at all, like if he informed his class of what to do, or if it was just like, no, the kids just
No, I think that's
went.
why he was so impressed that he made no indication of ever explaining to the class any kind of preparation. And they were 16. He mentioned 16 to 19-year-old, and just, yeah, must have posted that like right after leaving the job because he was so impressed.
That's fucking awesome. I love that.
It could also have just been staged for the video.
Never
No,
know.
they were timing it. They nothing in the post ever said anything about recording it. And we're back to talk about the teacher.
Says, had my first seizure at 26 years old. I'm a male, need some reassurances and guidance. Sadly, I had my first seizure yesterday at work. It was absolutely humiliating. Felt off, started losing my vision, and woke up on the floor surrounded by my coworkers. I was then taken to the hospital in an ambulance and released a couple hours later. After some Valium, I was pretty freaked out and clear CT scan. Since it was Friday afternoon, I couldn't schedule a follow-up with my neurologist right away, but will hopefully be going soon. My hope is that this is a weird one-off thing. I was dehydrated and hadn't eaten a lot. Stress was a little high too. Of course, I'm not asking for medical advice, but are there odds that of that being the case? Today, I feel really ached and off. Is this normal? Additionally, what can I expect from a neurologist visit? Lastly, I have a trip on with friends planned in a few weeks. We're flying. Is that going to be an issue? Of course, the doctor will be able to tell me more, but I'm just curious. Apologies for so many questions. I'm just lost and kind of scared.
I want to say, don't be humiliated for having, even if you don't end up having epilepsy. Don't be humiliated for having a seizure. You didn't choose it. Your brain just went off. It's like
This
you
guy, like,
can't control it. We can't control it. It controls itself.
this guy literally described like how my first seizure went. 26, at work, dehydrated, stressed out, and woke up with my coworkers around me. Went to the hospital. Literally, it was like I wrote that with small differences. Yeah, absolutely. Like don't let it take it over your brain. You're still you. You just have a little bit more to you now.
Anybody ever had a seizure at work? I have.
Like that's a weird thing because I've always liked my jobs. Like they were like an escape from stressful life. I don't know, they weren't very stressful, and like school always sucked, and family life was not terrible, but they weren't. I don't know. I just really liked getting away, and work was just really. It was like very zen almost. It was like an escape, and I could just blank out, and yeah, it was just the
I always thought
opposite
it
of
was ironic
stressful.
that the jobs at the medical center were the one where I got the most like side eyes when I went back. The fast food places, maybe I was because those were the first ones, and like in high school they were just nervous and all like, "Are you okay? What happened? What's going on?" And the jobs at the doctor's offices were just like, so trying to, so you're not going to stay here, right? They were the quickest ones to just be like, okay, get your referral from, this one in HR. They'll actually like not fuck you over when you try to get another job.
Mm.
But yeah, that medical center, working anywhere in a doctor's office or anywhere near patients went out the window fast. Welcome, Sailor Mom. Missed you.
I missed you guys too. I'm sorry. It ended up taking way, way longer to do what I needed to do. So,
Always.
yeah.
We all get tied up. So the opening question today was, what is the best advice you've received about having epilepsy?
Didn't get the question, did he?
Rick get the question? I don't know.
No, give you some time. We got Rick.
I guess rest after, because if you don't, you're gonna have another one. Because I don't know, I still don't like to do that. Like, I want to get back up and just like get back to it. And I think that's probably not, I'm going to cause myself to have another one, but the guilt and everything, when you're a mom, you just want to get up and go take care of stuff. So yeah, I guess that's the best advice. If I think of anything else, I'll let you know. Gosh, I wish I had better ones. Oh, and take your medicine on time, I guess.
That was mine. Mine was take your meds on time every day.
Mm-hmm. Take your meds on time. Rest afterwards. Yeah. Eat. Get plenty of sleep.
Yeah, I was told to eat too. Rick, what's yours?
The best advice is listen to your body. It'll let you know if you're overdoing it. Make sure you get plenty of rest. Understand that you can't go 100% of what you were doing before. If you do 30%, be happy with that. And, listen to cues. If you're reading something and you find yourself rereading the paragraph over and over, not understanding it, it's time to stop reading. If you're getting ready to help out with yard work and you feel a little bit dizzy, don't do it. Explain to everybody that plans can't be concrete. You got to be fluid with it. So that's what I do, is all my plans that I make, I let people know, yes, I'd like to go to the movies with you. However, I don't know how I'm going to feel that day. So either go without me or reschedule if at the last minute I can't.
It does sound like good advice, but probably the hardest ones to follow. So thank you for that absolutely genuine answer. That was really good.
Also, Rick, I'm glad that you had such a great group of people with you when you did go to the movies the other night. So that if anything happened, you knew that you had people there who were there to help as well.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay. One right here says body aging. So I'm curious on other effects seizures have on us other than our nerves and brain. Does it cause your body to age quicker than others? I have had some pretty gnarly seizures and are not under control. I'm curious on what y'all think. The first comment says, oh, that's a long one. I don't know about aging, but we definitely experience more damage to our brains and our bodies. The last time I went to the dentist, they told me my teeth had the wear and tear of someone in their 30s, which is a result of dozen tonic-clonic seizures. I also have scarring on my tongue and inner cheeks. I don't know how the rest of my body, but between the seizures and my meds, I'm usually pretty low on energy and struggle to stand for long periods of time. I definitely don't function like other people my age, but that's the nature of having a disability. This is just my anecdotal experience. Everyone experiences epilepsy differently. Correct. Body aging, anybody? I don't feel like my body's aging at all. Some ways I'm getting better.
Yeah, if anything, I'm doing my research on all these meds and making sure.
Concert.
Say that again?
I said you look like you were ready to party at that weekend concert like an 18-year-old.
I was ready to party. I spent most of my time recording it, and I thought about that once I went home. Like, damn, I was looking at the camera the whole time.
And
But-
anybody that's over 6 feet can see over the crowd, so like that was a total waste.
Right, I was like this. Most people were shorter than me. Like most people I usually meet are shorter than me. The tallest people I ever meet are in Costco because it's always like I never see anyone taller than me until I look around and there's some guy with some short woman and he's towering over. And that's the only places I ask guys, like, how tall are you? And they're always like 6'5", 6'6", something like that. Yeah.
And
big
you
ones
know
are
this when you're
Costco.
shopping in the warehouse.
Right.
They're like, no, the ceilings here are tall, and they've got giant, like portions of everything, and I need that. So
Have
So
you
that's-
asked Tom how
That's
tall
where
he
everybody's
is?
gonna bring their tall friends.
Rick,
Don't
how
worry,
tall are
Brandon.
you?
You're still growing.
5'6" and 3/4 is what I write down, but it's really 5'6".
Oh, you're shorter than Brandon. Not that that's a bad thing, Brandon.
no,
It's
no,
like-
no.
I can
I
fit in
have
the outer
already
really
said
well.
I am totally fine with my height because the average
The
male
average height of a
in
male is
America
5'9".
5'9". I am completely average, and I am totally fine with that.
I'm
Yeah.
5'7.5". Or 5'8".
That's pretty tall for a woman.
That's tall, yeah.
Yay.
And I know a woman
No,
that's
that's a good height. You
6'10".
don't have to worry about shopping for certain jeans or anything. Cool.
My aunts started at 4'9" and went up to like my grandmother was like 5 foot. My mom's like 5'1.5", I'm like 5'3". Yeah, that's real tall. I mean, in my family anyway.
Angel's 6 feet, and I would have thought that.
Yeah, I'm 6 foot.
And Kevin said he's 6 foot too, or he just puts that on Tinder applications.
Mark, how about you?
Actually, I had to measure my niece for her birthday the other week, and so I decided to measure myself too, and I'm actually 5'11".
Okay.
So
Never imagined you being that tall. But then
Nah.
again, I can see everybody's upper body.
I am 5'10", like honest soul to scalp 5'10". So that's like 6'1" in dating app feet, right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
I should start putting 6'6".
we got to keep lying for the dating app because they don't. We got to keep saying we're 6 feet for dating apps. You know that.
The first person that told me I was really tall is because he said he seen me standing next to a grocery cart on a picture I took, and the cart's like at my waist. I never imagined people being shorter than a grocery cart. I don't think I've seen anybody with the cart at their chest. But just
I used to work at a grocery store. I have seen that before. Yes, 7.5 years at a grocery store. You see a lot of customers.
yeah, you probably seen a lot of short people, especially
Yeah.
at the register.
Oh yeah, I worked
Height
at
really
a
gets
big
your
lots
attention
for
on the
that
road
time.
too.
Oh yeah. Oh, my aunt, 5'9", driving. Oh my God, used to scare the hell out of me. What? How can you see? How? You can't reach your countertop to cut things, sweetheart. How do you see? I was taller than
How
her when I was
tall are you?
11. How tall am I? I
Yeah.
am 5'3". But I mean, I was taller than her when I was 11. It was very surreal because I'm
Yeah.
not tall.
I got a 10-year-old that's 5'3". But me. So yeah, about the body aging. Do you guys believe our bodies are aging with seizures? Seizures, personally, no, I don't think it's that. Thoughts on that?
I wouldn't
Kevin
doubt
said he's
to say the
shrinking.
brain might be.
And that's what I was gonna say. It's like I guess depends on how you look at aging. It's like just because our body might not be aging, our brain is going through so much and trying to recover all the time, that I think that is definitely going to be a factor more so than our body. But if whenever you have seizures, you're falling over and you're like just smashing your body into the ground, like clearly that's going to like affect you as well.
Right?
Might not
like
age you, but you're going to feel older.
yeah, like Annie's shoulder problems and so forth. Yeah, I mean, oh, and I fell down on my concrete driveway and slid all the way down on my face. And I mean, I'm sure that wasn't very good for my body. It hurt for a while. So yeah, I mean, the beating up we do to ourselves, I don't know if it ages us, but it certainly slows our bodies down from healing and so forth. And yeah, I totally agree with the brain thing. Definitely aging my brain, sadly.
There's a comment in here, and the guy says, I'm 43. Well, I don't even know if it's a guy. Says, I'm 43 and everybody thinks I'm 20. I guess it depends on whether you avoid all the toxins or heavy metals, things that dehydrate you, etc. I don't want to say that person's a woman, but they said something else. The bruising is probably the most annoying part because you don't have to hit your leg on something to get a bruise. All you have to do is work something where you have to lean up or on something or that has a knob. And if a knob touches your leg for multiple hours, you're going to have a bruise there. When I was working at a hotel, there was knobs in front of everything, every single location that I had to stand in front of. When I would move from one location to another, it would bruise my right leg and then my left leg, and then I would go to the kitchen and it would bruise my lower part of my leg. And then I went to the doctor and told him that this was the Keppra causing me the bruise abnormally. And he asked me if I did drugs and then drug tested me for a boatload of drugs because he thought that I was getting drugged and abused, and I was so offended. I had to quit going to that doctor because I couldn't afford him anymore, but also because he's so fucking stupid. Just because I said that I do smoke marijuana. How do you pronounce? Just because I do smoke marijuana, and he said, "How do I get it?" And I said, "Off the streets, like everybody else." Only in the last 2 years have I ever had a doctor that I could talk to freely that didn't drug test me. Yeah, this is helpful and healing. The person said to write this. Yeah, I'd be quite offended. Drug testing me for all this stuff just because I say it's only smoke weed. Yeah.
The bruising is annoying, but she's saying just from leaning up against the knob.
Yeah, that part I
would be
didn't
kind of
understand.
suspicious.
I mean,
Yeah, it would be kind of suspicious if that's just the Keppra.
I would say she probably has like anemia or something like that, because that's when I tend to bruise the worst.
Yeah. Sometimes
also,
if I lean up against something for too long, I get a bruise because I have anemia.
well, also depends on like their body type. And I'm saying this because it like when I was in just like grade school and stuff, those wooden desks, my spine protrudes a little bit, and I'm very skinny, so when I would sit up against the chairs, it like and just leaning up against them, I would get bruises, so my spine would just be constantly bruised, and it's not even like I was getting hit, I was just sitting in a chair.
Someone else said, I don't have an answer for you, but I'm also curious, and I don't think it's a dumb question. So little is known about epilepsy, and in my experience, a lot is dismissed. So, of course, we are comparing notes and scratching our heads. It's like type 2 diabetes or something, very familiar to the general public. I told my Uber driver the other day I had epilepsy, and he asked if that was the same thing as being psychic. My sarcasm took over.
Yes.
My sarcasm took over, and I said yes, and then felt like an asshole for the rest of the rest of the ride.
No.
Yes, I'm psychic. I gotta use that.
They did used to think that, you know, like seers and stuff it could predict the future when really they were just like having a seizure.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep.
Oh, I tore my sock. So one more. It says, I don't know about aging, but we definitely experience more damage to our brains and our bodies. The last time I went, oh no, I read that one. Not going through that again. It's pretty long.
I broke a bridge, a brand new bridge that they had put in like 3 months later from seizing, grinding, nocturnal, something. Cracked it just into 3 pieces. It fell out. And the dentist that had done it, $5,000, sent me a letter the next week saying he had gone out of business and would not pay for any fixing of teeth or help anybody. Horrible, horrible thing. Didn't know I was doing that to my teeth.
When you first said bridge, I was picturing like a construction crew really upset that they just finished a bridge and you went and destroyed it.
Me too. That's where I took off at. Like she broke the bridge.
It's right here. Right, see that hole right there? I don't know if y'all can see it, but it's the big tooth right here. And he had ground down both of the teeth on the other side and put a big white bridge in, and it just from me.
Welcome to the Broken Bridge Club.
Yeah, man. Oh, I've got a lot of broken teeth, but that's the one that I was like, doggone it, you can see it when I smile.
I got a chipped one in the front, and recently I was quite offended. My doctor, the dentist, called me and was like, "Your doctor referred you for a dentist appointment." I was like, "That's one thing I did not ask for." He's seen the chipped tooth. Is that what he was thinking? I need a dentist. I haven't talked to him, but I was just thought that was weird. I was just like, I asked you to get my arm checked on and find me a neurologist, and you call the dentist. It's hey, I'll go, I guess. If the office fans.
Isn't the adhesive that they use for teeth like a version of like cement?
I don't know.
Oh, it is. So yeah. Okay. So Sailor Mom, you really did break a bridge. There was cement involved in everything.
I got one new one. It says, could hurting legs be a side effect? We have been changing my daughter's meds due to increasing focal seizures. She is on 8 milliliters Keppra, 5.7 milliliters of Vimpat 2 times daily. Recently, she has started complaining about her legs hurt and being tired or claiming her legs aren't working. Could this be caused by the med? She also has a benign brain tumor, so that's another possibility. We see her specialist in a week.
I'm gonna go brain tumor on that.
Vimpat and Keppra people. Go ahead, Rick.
So yes, when I first was put on Depakote, my legs didn't want to work at all and they hurt. And then when I switched over to lacosamide, which is Vinpat, if I don't take magnesium and potassium daily, my legs hurt and I can't sleep. They don't want to move easily. If I'm sitting down at work, they hurt. So I have to take extra magnesium and potassium.
Someone here says, mine have too. They've been what I can describe as heavy and sore. It didn't occur to me that there would be any kind of connection. Someone else said, when I was on a high dose of carbamazepine, Tegretol, a side effect I noticed was very similar. My legs felt very uncoordinated, as if they aren't working properly. When I tried to walk, I felt like a newborn horse. I felt like a newborn horse leaning to walk for the first time. Really scary, but it happened to me the first time. My neurologist tweaked my dosage, and it hasn't been an issue since. I hope this helps. Someone said I was in my late 30s when I started Keppra, but I did get a leg pain also, and it felt a lot of muscular atrophy in my legs. Electrolytes and hydration helps with the pain, but until I quit Keppra, my muscles seem to keep wasting away and feeling weaker. Throughout my entire body, but especially in my legs is where I felt the most. Brandon, how are your legs doing?
My legs are fine.
You ride a bike every day, so I don't even know why I asked.
Yeah, my legs are fine. I noticed this happened a couple weeks ago, but I fell asleep and I think I had just a small seizure while I was asleep. I apparently did not like shake around at all. Um, but I woke up feeling like crap. And I was really pissed because I couldn't I had no muscle strength in my right hand, like my right arm. Um, so I couldn't close my fist. I could take my other hand and close it, but it was just loosely held there. I grabbed a water bottle and I was just trying to squeeze the water bottle to get feeling back. And it took about 10-15 minutes before I finally got full muscle strength back. But that's the only time that's ever happened.
Hypnosis and epilepsy. My husband has epilepsy. He also suffers from addiction to alcohol. In addition to that, he's dealing with major stress factors with work and just having epilepsy in general. He started to see a therapist just this Friday who brought up the idea of hypnosis to help with his stress and addiction. I'm curious if anyone else in this group with epilepsy has ever had hypnotherapy before, and if it triggered more seizures or if it may have been helpful. Thank you in advance. Personally, I've never been hypnotized or had hypnotherapy. I really like to hear it if you guys have, and what is that like? Well, obviously, we're still having seizures here, so probably didn't work. But yeah, how's that going, guys? Anybody has hypnotherapy or even heard of it?
Heard about it, but not I guess in connection with epilepsy, but I guess getting it to cut down on drinking and overall stress would help with the seizures.
Do believe in it. I do think I have heard of its efficacy. I think in relation to epilepsy, I don't know, but I think it can be used. Perhaps to control, maybe lowering stress and controlling certain things. Yeah, in relation to maybe I don't know. I just know that hypnotherapy is effective, and maybe that can be used in controlling certain triggers. I don't know.
One comment says, it's definitely worth a try. You could also try self-hypnosis initially before going into hypnotherapy. Tons of content on YouTube and apps that will help you doing this. I personally use Harmony Hypnosis and would recommend it.
I guess we're all kind of on the same wavelength though of it would help in terms of cutting down on the things that would cause seizures, but there's no way of sort of getting hypnosis that's gonna train your brain not to have a seizure at all.
Well, no, I'm not saying it's a cure for epilepsy, but yeah, I'm just saying.
I didn't think you were.
No, certainly not. But it has been proven to work on many things, and I okay. For example, there was a a doctor who had surgery performed on himself using no painkillers, but just self hypnosis. Um, I mean, that's a good example of the power of just how you can train your brain to really uh, control yourself to exit out certain things. And I actually used self hypnosis for a while when I was actually not before I was diagnosed with epilepsy to help me sleep better as a kid. So um, it does work. I mean, it really does work.
Oh yeah, hypnosis has been proven to be effective, and it absolutely, like, hypnosis works. It's just the application of the hypnosis and what you're expecting to get out of it. It's like hypnosis is not curing a seizure or curing epilepsy. If it was, we'd all be getting hypnotized.
Right, but I'm saying maybe you can use it to, okay, triggers cause seizures. Maybe you can use it to lower stress and such. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, that's what I said. We were all on the same page about.
Okay, good.
We're saying the same thing.
Oh, okay.
This one says, anyone start music after epilepsy? Good evening. Anyone start a guitar, bass, drums, etc. after your seizures and seizure medicine? I love to pick back up music. I'm just wondering how much harder it would be now. FYI, I'm in my 50s and a stoner, so that helps and hurts the process. Have a great night. Start music. I want to learn how to play the piano, but to that question, then no, I haven't started music after epilepsy yet. Anyone get epilepsy and end up playing an instrument? Oh, Brandon, you're playing an instrument right now. Were you playing the instrument before epilepsy?
Yeah, I've owned a guitar for years, and I took some lessons when I was in high school. That didn't change, but now I sit around on the couch a lot more. So it's been more of a, get back into it situation.
Mark, did you start before epilepsy? You're on mute. Oh, somebody.
I learned drums in high school right after I was diagnosed, and I learned very fast to taught myself, and that was very good.
Nice.
So I didn't keep up with it, but I would like to learn more instruments like piano. Piano is an excellent thing, but yeah.
Oh yeah, Mark. What was I asking? Oh, did you pick up the guitar after epilepsy or before epilepsy?
I picked it up like, I don't know, a few years before, several, no, 10-ish. I don't know, long time, but I never really took it seriously. I had a friend who wanted to start a band, and he knew a guy who played drums, and he played guitar, and he was pretty good at guitar. So he needed somebody to play the bass, and he said nobody listens to the bass anyway. So it was perfect. Um, so yeah, I I I don't know. I never practiced that hard. We learned a few like 90s grunge songs, and that was about it. Um, but my bass is really pretty though, so I look cool holding it.
Yeah, it is cool. Rick, you said you played the guitar in your 20s? You have a
Yeah.
picture with the guitar?
I'll have to find it. I had long hair and stuff like that, but I'm sure I have it somewhere. I'll have to get it for you.
We need to see this. We need to see it.
Yeah, I used to have long black hair like past my shoulders for a bit.
Oh, I couldn't imagine it.
Yeah,
I'm
I'll
saying
dig
I
it up
need
for
to
you
see
guys.
it.
All right, I'll dig it up for you guys.
So for anyone start playing music after epilepsy, one of the comments was, "I'm a professional orchestra or orchestra musician, and start up on stuff all the time. Go for it. I forget a bunch of stuff and all the time, but it comes back. LOL. Yep, it hurts and hurts." Someone said, "I started to learn guitar after seizure meds, brain surgeries, and going off seizure meds. Still not great at all, but I'm slowly learning." The last one says, "I took up guitar and it has seemed to help me managing some of the fine motor control issues I've been experiencing. Absolutely suck at the guitar player because I said fine motor control issues, but it's fun and I enjoy it. My dad, who does not have epilepsy, picked it up a couple years ago, and he's in his 70s, and now he can play John Prine and Old Crow Medicine Show like it's nothing."
Okay, now I'm just jealous because I freaking love John Prine.
Now I'm jealous because I don't know who John Prine is.
Oh, okay. Look up a song called Illegal Smile. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, I'll do it later. But yeah, oh, it did pop up. John Prine, 1972 Underground. Okay, yeah, we'll come back to that one. Says husband having breakthrough seizures, started a new med, need to talk to someone. He hadn't had seizures for quite some time. They came back out of nowhere, and I feel so alone and scared. I'm trying to be as understanding as I can be, but on these new meds, he is sleeping constantly. He is like a villain because I have to check on him when I feel like the villain because I have to check on him here and there and to make sure he's breathing. And he just groans at me. I'm beyond exhausted. This crap sucks. What is going on? I think the context of what is going on could be used a couple ways. Because you could be yelling, "What is going on?" Or you could be like, "What's going on?" I'm asking for advice. So what's going on? I think this guy, new meds, I've heard how it could make you tired. So I think you just got to ride it out. I mean, it sucks to say, sucks to hear as a wife, but yeah, sounds like he just got to titrate up until his body balances out, I guess.
And maybe make sure his salt levels are high enough because apparently a bunch of our meds like just mess our salt levels up, and I had no idea about that. So
I didn't either until right now.
Yeah, that can affect, apparently, like we should be drinking Gatorade and stuff whenever we're changing our meds from one to another. And maybe even just all the time, because there's certain ones, I know Vimpat was one somebody mentioned, and there was a couple other ones. I was like so shocked. Really? How many times have I not had enough salt and then, you know, had a seizure because of it, right? I don't know. So yeah, that's something now I'm trying to look at.
Yeah, we were having that Gatorade conversation earlier. You just said Gatorade. It was a no-go. Earlier, there was all kinds of decisions, but Gatorade was the least favorite. It was called fake sugar.
Yeah, I'm not saying gotta be Gatorade, but I'm just saying it's got, having
Yeah.
a drink that's got salt and sugar or, something like that in it to help your body absorb it. That's all. It doesn't have to be Gatorade. I just mentioned that because that's the first one that comes to mind.
Was I unmuted that whole time I was listening to that song? I am so sorry, folks.
You were muted. We didn't hear anything.
Which song?
I was listening to the song. I was listening to Illegal Smile. It is so good. I couldn't.
Yes.
I had to keep listening to it, and then I looked up and I realized I was unmuted, and I was like, "Shit! Did everyone just hear that?" Sorry.
No,
Nope,
we
not
didn't.
at all.
It's a fantastic song. Actually, I just went through a bunch of his songs and I forgot. It's just almost everything John Prine did is fantastic. I think he's still alive, but yeah, he's awesome. Illegal Smile is awesome. It's got another one called Spanish Pipe Dream. And Donald and Lydia is one of the ones that I absolutely adore. Yeah, he's pretty awesome. And
I opened a tab with it so I can look it up later.
yeah,
One of the comments.
Don't forget him. Oh, his other famous song, Never Even Call Me By My Name. You might know that one. You never even call me by my name. Anybody? No? Okay.
No, haven't heard of that. Been out of music for a while. But one of the comments to that husband having breakthrough seizures, someone says, "There's absolutely nothing about seizures that doesn't suck. Be patient and loving. I can guarantee that he's probably going through worse. When I was sleeping constantly, I felt like an absolute loser and a burden to my wife and kids. It made me want to sleep more to avoid thinking about it. And I didn't want to talk about it. It's embarrassing and frustrating when seizures come back. He could be dealing with depression, which just makes things even harder. Honestly, you both sound like you might need some outside help from counseling. Ask his neurologist's office for resources to turn to. Hopefully, he'll be open, but he might need time to get used to the idea. So don't push him too much. Guys are stupidly stubborn. I know because I am. I know because I still am. Yeah. Someone said it doesn't suck. Oh, it does suck. Remember that his body is still adjusting. When I start new epilepsy med, I'm prone to the side effects. I'd give it some time, and if the med procedure produces too many side effects, there are other options. Someone said he has the weirdest seizures too. It's traumatizing to witness and then be alone. I would do anything for him, though I love him so much, but so alone. Any advice on learning how to drive and epilepsy? I'm 17 now. People are starting to learn how to drive in my country, but I haven't gotten my provisional. I was gathering together documents to get it last year, but then I was diagnosed with epilepsy. My last recorded seizure was in October, so I can actually start to learn to drive then. It terrifies me at the idea that if I have a TC behind the wheel, I'd kill family or people. I'd kill a family or people I'm driving with in the car. Already, that's a risk, I guess, when anyone learns to drive, but this is different. My meds also make me hard to concentrate sometimes, and I'm so tired from them every day since I had to take them. I swear before all this, I had a couple more notches of energy per day, but now it feels capped. Like I would love more of anything to have this independence to drive to work or drive to parties or at friends or school on my own terms, but I physically don't feel comfortable behind the wheel. It's not like my seizures gave me warnings at the first time. My ma'am has been pressing me to get on to applying for a license and lessons and everything. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't even know how to tell her how uncomfortable and anxious and overwhelmed it is and how overwhelmed it makes me feel. She'd just think I was all excuses anyway. Have any advice for any similar experiences? The similar experience I had with people not taking me serious. That's what I caught. Love to.
Best advice is don't.
Yeah, if you already know you have it, I mean, I don't know, I guess it just depends on your breakthrough seizures, but like, I know a guy who was 8 years seizure free and he worked with my mom and he had a seizure while he was driving and he killed everybody in the other car. And clearly he'll never be able to forgive himself for that, right? But doctors said it was okay to drive. 8 years is a very long time. But that's how I think about it. I'm like, if they tried to give it back to me, I don't think I could do it just because I couldn't live with myself. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. I'm sorry. OP.
Kevin, you know how to drive?
Well, I did. I do know how to drive.
Oh, I was asking Kevin, you know how to drive?
Kevin?
I got my permit at 16. That's like the closest I came to driving. So
Yeah, I got my permit at 16, and then it was literally like a few weeks later, I got epilepsy, and the doctor was like, I'm going to call the DMV and, let them know you can't get a license. So, yeah, I'm not sure how else that works. Did your doctor call your DMV and tell them you shouldn't get a license? I didn't know how that happens, but I guess it worked somehow. Yeah, but in the comments, one says, oh, Jeff, he says, don't drive regardless of the pressure. You could be damaging or destroying two families. Another person says, I would wait until your last two seizure, at least 2 years seizure free. If you're in the UK, you need to have a medical professional prove for you to get a license. My concern is that your meds still cause you to be tired and lack of concentration. Drowsy driving is dangerous as drunk driving. To be safe, I would try to find another way to increase my energy and concentration without lowering my seizure threshold. I can consume caffeine without affecting my epilepsy, but many other people with epilepsy can't drive with caffeine. You know your body best, though an appointment with your neuro would be helpful. Also, I don't know the UK driving laws, but a doctor's note may be required to get a license. You have to have a conversation with your mom about why you're uncomfortable behind the wheel. Bring the drowsy driving statistics with you. This may lead to shouting and threats, but an angry person, even if it's your mom, is better than an injured people. I love driving and the independence brings me. I would love for your license. It's a good tool I have. Remember, just because you have a driving license don't mean you should be driving. Another person says, my son totaled 2 cars due to seizures. We are so very blessed no one else was hurt, though he is now got titanium plates in his face and extensive dental work. We weren't sure if this was what caused the first wreck, but after the second one in 4 years, he stopped driving. Let your mom know the risk. Raven says, it sounds like it's not safe for you to drive, which is good because it really isn't. I'm sorry. Giving up your independence is so hard, but a car accident could kill you or others. Heck, you could even hit someone and cause brain injury, and they could develop epilepsy as well. Just don't drive. Oh, yeah, Raven, there you are. Yeah, that was good advice, Raven.
Hi. Yeah, actually, as I'm listening to you read it out, I'm realizing I didn't really answer their question anyway of how to handle things with their mom. So maybe not the best advice, actually.
Okay, I got another one. It says, I walked directly into a chair. I was having dinner with my family and got up to get seconds. I had to go around the chair, and I remember I was trying to squeeze past it, and suddenly the chair was on the floor. My husband said I walked right into it. Afterwards, I felt like my left leg was slightly numb, not from walking into the chair. I get this feeling a lot as part of my focals. I guess its internal gyroscope was off. Sharing this to see if anybody has had similar experiences. Personally, I've walked into quite a few things. I think I'm more along the lines of clumsy when I walk into things because I just happen to walk into things kind of often, a little too often. Maybe I'm not paying attention, and once you're one step too close, yeah, so turn around sometimes and ran into walls. Yeah. You guys have focals and blame it on the reason you're running into things?
I've been wondering that about myself lately. My balance has been high. I know my camera's off. I've been running into things and falling off balance so much more since my last cluster. So maybe it's related.
Yeah, it also sounds like she blacked out for a few seconds. And she said, I remember trying to squeeze by. And my husband said I walked into the chair. She doesn't even remember walking into the chair, is what it sounds like.
Well then, yeah, that's probably a focal. If you don't even remember doing it.
Yeah. She did remember trying to squeeze by, but yeah, didn't remember walking into it. Sounds like a focal.
It does.
It does sound like a focal to me too. Sometimes I do things I have absolutely no memory of doing, but I remember before. So yeah, that sounds like a focal to me.
And the comment said, I've had issues like this. There's been 2 times I've gone to step over things like the baby gate or a big step. And next thing you know, I'm on the ground because I missed it. I'm not sure what it is, but it's very frustrating. Someone else said I have balance issues all the time. I always attributed mine to the meds as they all seem to list coordination and balance as side effects. I run into chairs, countertops, walls, etc. Never really hard where I've fallen, but hard even for people to notice and where I've had to catch myself.
You usually, if it's on one side, if it starts on one side and you have focals, the side that it starts on, the opposite side will go numb or limp, or you just lose control of that side sometimes. And I got that from 2 of the technicians that were putting on the electrodes for like my 4th EEG. Like, I think it was for one that I was going home, an ambulatory, and she said, the 2 of them were in there together, and she said, which side does your epilepsy start on? And I told her, and she said, oh, so then your right side will sometimes just go numb, or you'll trip, or you'll drop something on your right side. And I was like, yeah, actually, I do kind of do that. So yeah, it can, if you know what side it starts on, you can predict a little bit which side will go. But if it's just a straight focal seizure, you can't predict much of it. But yeah, I've got lots of dropping and tripping and running into things.
Yeah, I've dropped a lot of things. Food, hot grease in a pan.
I didn't know that could have anything to do with it until she said that. And I'm like, seriously? I'm 3 years in and you're going to tell me this? And it's a technician that's telling me instead of like a doctor? Thanks.
Dude, I got a good one. I think I've seen this one before. It says I sleep too much and it's hurting my relationship. The relationship is amazing. My husband loves me so much. This is not a complaining about significant other posts. I will sleep in late with zero recollection of being woken up numerous times, and I fall asleep in the afternoons while he's working. This is our first great summer, like in like 6 years, and I'm temporarily off work. He feels like I'm wasting it. I do get out a lot, but after I sleep, I'm on a bunch of drugs, and this has always been a bit of a problem, but it's gotten worse with cinnamomate, which has worked wonders on my seizures, on my seizure frequency and intensity. I don't know. It's just a hard thing when I get in trouble. In trouble is in quotes. When I get in trouble after an afternoon nap. Am I lazy? Am I a lazy butt, or is this I've been an epileptic for 31 years type of thing?
This drug is Xcopri.
Yeah, you're not lazy. I could say running your relationships, that would suck. You sleeping too much.
That's comes with the territory, as I say.
You're sleeping too much is definitely not your fault. It is definitely Xcopri.
That's what I was going to say. But I mean, I don't know. Not everybody has the same thing with Xcopri as I did. But yeah, like it's almost always the drugs. And then if it isn't the drugs, it's the fact that you're trying to heal from the seizures, the breakthroughs. So yeah, I mean, I understand because it's really bad. My relationships too. And I feel guilty all the time about, not getting up and doing more sometimes, but
yeah, been there.
You gotta deal with it and try not to hate yourself and apologize. Tell him you feel bad about it. It's not good. It's not ideal, but you're on this medication that just does this. And, other people have been on this medication say the same thing. It's not just you, sweetie. That's all I've got. Anybody else?
This person is on Xcopri, Vimpat, Prevlara, Pregabalin, and clonazepam. All those sound like sleepy drugs.
Half of those are sleepy, at least half of those are sleepy drugs. And if you combine them, you will sleep, because I have combined at least 3 of those together. I mean, my doctor, put me on.
That sounds like a recipe for a coma.
Even if you're medication resistant, maybe it's time to try to talk to your doctor about finding a combination that works better for you. They never want to do that. But if you push, don't know. Anybody?
If you look at the Vimpat and stuff, Vimpat and Xcopri are pretty much the same thing, except Xcopri's on a higher dosage, higher level of it.
The first comment says, "Hey, I have a TBI and epilepsy. I only recently diagnosed. I sleep 10 to 12 hours a day plus a nap." 10 to 12 hours a day plus a nap. I was like this my entire life since the head injury in my childhood. I've always slept a lot. My mom was always angry with me for having a nap straight after school. I spent my lunch break sleeping in my car. In my first work, I fell asleep in people's houses at their birthday parties. I caused arguments on holidays when my friends wanted to do a 12 hours of sightseeing, but I had to split and go back to the hotel room for a nap after merely 6 hours. I felt bad my entire life. Eventually, I came to accept that this is the way my brain is. I didn't ask for epilepsy or the brain injury. I wish I didn't have them and wasn't tired all the time, but people who don't really have epilepsy, TBI, will see us as lazy. But who the hell are they to judge? Your partner should be more understanding and you tire more easily and you recover more slowly than him. That's why you need to have more sleep. You're not wasting time or wasting your summer. Sleep as much as you need. You're telling her to ruin the relationship. And then she responded, "He's been with me for 11 years now, and my sleep hasn't always been like this. I used to be a tip top after like 6 hours of nighttime sleep. So it's weird now. It's weird to me even. He cares a lot and is concerned. I don't quite know what's up, how this will affect my career and life, what's causing this, etc. It's concerning. Damn TBI since childhood and only recently diagnosed, eh? That's rough to go. Do you ever think you're missing out on stuff? Kind of, but gave up on that thought. Another comment says, I'm pretty open about my condition with my friends and family, and many of them still get that the main side effects of seizures, meds cause drowsiness and fatigue. I drink coffee to counteract that, but I get that it's not feasible for everyone. One more comment. Says I had blood work done today. I also was really sleepy all the time, no matter how much sleep I got. Turns out it was the vitamin B12 deficiency. Shout out to Nature's Made. Epilepsy drugs can do that. I recommend getting checked now that I take a supplement regularly and have zero issues. That is very good to hear.
There are several things that they can suck out of your body that make you really tired, weak, just make things out of balance. Yeah, right. The B12, D3 can get whacked out. Salt, right? Your sodium. And what was the other one? Oh, calcium. And in order to like keep the calcium in your body and help it to like, you know, use it and not just go through you, you have to take like a folic acid with it. I don't know. My very first epileptic medications were like, oh, this sucks all the calcium out of your body. And I was like, yo, I had 5 kids. I can't have this calcium sucked out of my body again. No. So I looked up looking for it, you know, finding out how to fix it. But yeah, that's something that happens. She should iron. That's the other one, right? We just said anemia. Lufa said it too. That's another one that makes you tired and exhausted no matter what. So yeah, maybe look into some supplements too. Definitely the B12, some iron. Yeah. Anybody else got anything else?
Well, I was wondering if this person had been tested for sleep apnea. I mean, oh, you're muted.
I'm just agreeing with you. Yeah, falling asleep everywhere is weird.
Well, I thought I had depression when I was told by my doctor that I might have sleep apnea. And sure enough, I had both kinds. There's 2 kinds. Did you guys know that?
No.
Yeah, there's obstructive sleep apnea, which is how your body is shaped, and that it can be caused by anything like a lot of, I don't know about a lot of people, but some people get sleep apnea because of being overweight. But I'm getting fitted for a device in my jaw. I used to have the mask, and that puts air down your throat, but I can't do that now. And so I'm getting one in my jaw, and they found that my tongue is too big for my mouth, which they said is really, really common. When you go to sleep, your tongue falls back into your throat. And they said that's why a lot of people have sleep apnea. That is obstructive sleep apnea. Something because of the way your body is shaped. You go to sleep and the way your body is shaped, it cuts off air into your, going into your lungs. Central sleep apnea has to do with your brain. Central sleep apnea is where your brain simply forgets to tell your body to breathe. So I was wondering if with a traumatic brain injury, this person's brain is forgetting to tell their body to breathe. And who knows? That's why I was wondering if maybe they have sleep apnea and maybe they could get tested for it. I have both kinds, central and obstructive. So
They told me I have sleep apnea.
do you know what kind?
The kind where they gave me this CPAP machine that I don't use.
Well, the sleep apnea machine that forces air into your lungs, that helps both obstructive and central. The central is where your brain just forgets to tell your body to breathe every once in a while when you're sleeping. That sucks.
Oh, that's always weird because I've always felt like my tongue was very large.
Yes.
That's so weird because
It can
after
have, yeah.
so many years of chewing on my tongue, having vicious, I felt like that made my tongue larger. Is that
Maybe,
some?
well,
I don't
it
know.
could be. Yeah, I went to this to get this device for my mouth. It's simply like a bite guard, like it goes on the top and the bottom of your mouth, and it pulls your jaw forward just a little bit. Like if you put your jaw forward, it actually gives you more room. You can kind of feel it. More room back here in the back of your throat. And so that's supposedly going to give me more airway when I sleep. Anyways, isn't that interesting? It's a like not a dentist, but they're people who deal with TMJ when you click your jaws. And so we'll see if this works. Anyways, isn't that I found that interesting. And central sleep apnea you can have to do with your brain. But yeah, like if your tongue is too large for your mouth, it could fall back in there. And I don't know if you have that's really interesting that you said that. If because isn't that interesting that when people have these seizures and you chew and you damage your tongue, I wonder if it would reshape your tongue.
Well, that's what I've always thought, and now
Yeah,
that you're saying it, I'll look into it.
that's so interesting.
I don't know why I was thinking about shaving. Wrong thing to do right now. There was something I wanted to say, something about what Kevin was saying. Oh no, something Jocelyn was saying. I asked someone in the CPAP subreddit, could sleep apnea be caused by epilepsy? And a lot of people said they don't know. And then I told them, what if I don't use my CPAP? And then some guy said, what if you looked at the side effects? And I didn't do that. So I'm
Well,
assuming it's
do you want to know a little bit about that?
not really. But
Okay, that's fine. I loved my CPAP. I would put it on even to go read a book. Because it helped me sleep better. That's why I felt a lot better after I wore my CPAP. I felt a lot better the next day, but that's all. I'm sorry.
A
so
lot of post-COVID
um
patients do acknowledge that, but they say also causes dependence,
yeah, I heard
What
that
is
part too.
dependence?
I mean you're gonna
where you
need
can't
air.
sleep without it.
Yeah, you're gonna start needing it.
Oh,
Heard that
yeah,
too.
I know. I know. That's true.
Side effects to everything. I need no more side effects. So new things are kind of cut thin these days. There was something you said that I wanted to say something about, and it's too late now because I forgot. Um, oh, I was thinking since all my seizures, well, no, yeah, most of my seizures are out of bed. So wearing the sleep apnea thing, I'm not sure if it'll work because I mean, it'll work, I guess, for whatever it's supposed to work for. But I don't think it could be a cause. I was thinking, could that be a cause of my seizures not doing that in particular that I'm supposed to be doing? But yeah, I have no problems breathing, walking around the house. So I gotta look that up.
Please take your medication as prescribed or whatever works for you. We're not doctors.